All right, this is part 3, the last of our videos on growth psychology and Carl Rogers, and it is the basic for both humanistic learning theory and holistic learning theory. But first, 2 traditionals and 1 progressive, not progress, progressive view of learning. According to behaviorists, learning is a change in behavior that occurs as a result of an experience. You learn to gain a reward or avoid a punishment. Cognitive psychology says learning is a change in thinking that occurs as a result of an experience. Learning, according to holistic learning theory, is a change in being. Pause. Change in being. Carl Rogers wanted or promoted significant learning, real learning. This is pervasive in that it makes a difference in the attitude and worldview of the students, the personality, the choices he or she makes. It involves the whole person, not just the mind, but the emotions and the intuitive and the social self. Emotions are good. It enhances learning. It helps us to know more fully. Real learning is self-initiated. The impetus, comprehending, wanting to learn, comes from within. It is desired. Real learning can't be forced upon someone. You have to want to be able to make sense of the data. You out there have to want to understand what this goofy floating head is talking about in order to have some sort of learning. Real learning is purposeful, meaningful, relevant. The subject matter is perceived as having some use. It connects with students' goals or interests, not just school-related knowledge, but connected to their life. They're able to use it in their real life. It arouses their curiosity. It's not forced upon them, and it's not meant just to meet curriculum mandates. Right? Now, here's the thing. Creative, intelligent teachers are able to, if they're allowed to be creative, intelligent, make these real, learningful, meaningful, purposeful experiences, put them into the curriculum, and at the same time meet curriculum mandates. It's not one or the other. It's not humanistic teaching or meeting the mandates. One goes inside the other like a glove. Number 5, much significant learning is acquired through doing. That means we have to have experiences. Life experiences to the greatest extent possible. This means, like Dewey, we should try to make the invisible wall between the classroom and reality disappear. Make the schoolroom look more like life and reality. Have them learning by doing real things, real activities, building, planning, creating newspapers, doing broadcasts, that sort of thing. Active learning, they are doing something. In significant learning, students participate responsibility, meaning they have choices in what is learned, how they demonstrate their learning to the greatest degree possible. Choices, not all the time, but to the greatest degree possible. Some choice all the time, no choice. You want this nice place in the middle. Again, it's based on the idea that humans have a natural potentiality for learning. We are naturally curious about our world. Learning is a natural state. Under the right conditions, this natural desire can be released and aligned with our curriculum. So, the purpose of education, then, according to Carl Rogers, humanistic learning theory, and Andy Johnson, is to facilitate real learning, not to pass no stinking tests or to meet curriculum mandates. It is to self-actualize significant learning. Now, the real teacher is a facilitator of learning. Their role is to facilitate, create the conditions, not to tell, not to transmit. And again, they understand that humans naturally want to learn and create. We are creative beings. The real teacher aligns his or her lesson curriculum with this natural desire. Real teaching starts with a relationship. Relate back and forth, not just transmit. Until there's a relationship, you are just a dancing monkey up there making noise. some qualities that facilitate learning. Realness of the facility, that facilitator, that is you. You are congruent with your beliefs and your values. You're not trying to play the role of the teacher. You are your real self. You are true to your philosophies, your interests, your passion, your strengths as a teacher. You are real. And students need to see the real you. Qualities: unconditional positive regard for the learner. Learners feel valued. You value the whole person. They're accepted as a person. Now, you may not accept their behavior. I don't like what you're doing right now, but you accept them, and they need to know that. That way they do not build up defenses. So you need to tell them sometimes that you care for them, you like them. Unconditional positive regard. Teachers trust the learner. There's a little bit of trust. Students want to learn. We can help them set goals. We are not always taking numbers, testing, evaluating, recording. If we record every bit of homework, if we test all the time, we're not trusting the learner. We become measurers. We need more teachers and fewer measurers. Real teachers seek to understand the learner. The first step in knowing is understanding. You care for them, you see them as human beings. Then you can facilitate learning. It's not about delivering content. That comes as a natural result of this relationship when you are understanding your learners. And lastly, real teachers contact the real world. Contact the curriculum with real problems. They bring in problems with which students want to resolve, social or interpersonal issues, into the curriculum. So they get students in contact with real problems in their lives as part of the curriculum. As an example, middle school students are highly interested in being social beings. Cooperative learning, getting them talking about social issues. They can write about them, they can read about them, they can become better readers and writers. That's just one example. All right, this has been just a start of what humanistic teaching and learning is, might be, and may be.